Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done anything like book related lately, like reading vlogs, but this video is kind of different. So I wanted to do a video on my Indigenous Native American journey, the books I've been reading, the books that have helped me along my journey to help, you know, get reconnected and be educated on my culture and things like that. So that's what this video is going to be about. So I hope you guys will enjoy. So like I said, it's basically all the books I've gotten, or at least the books that I have been reading and what I'm reading kind of currently and what's been going on with my American journey and stuff like that. I got a salad, so we're sitting out here, we're chilling. So some pre-made salads. I got like Harris Teeter I wanted to try, so that's bad. So the first two books that I got, or the first two books I started reading, one was From Princess to Chief, the life with the Waccamaw Indians of North Carolina. Yep. So this lady, her name is, this is basically an autobiography of Priscilla Freeman Jacobs, and her life, and how she's actually the very first Waccamaw chief, and that this is the tribe that I am from. I am Waccamaw Native American. I'm half. My father is full-blooded, or he was, since he's passed away since then. But yes, I'm actually a part of the Freeman Jacobs family because my dad's mom was a Freeman. So yeah. Anyway, so this basically is about her life. And she was born in 1940. So she saw everything from us becoming a state recognized tribe in 1970, the divide between white people, black people, and because like there was a time where Native Americans, they were put as black people and they weren't. So there actually has been stories that I've heard, and I've watched some of the elders out in my community where they've stated, hey, my family members, they were put as black on their birth certificates, so they actually had to go back to the state to get that change over to Native Americans, so that at this point they weren't really recognized as Indians or Native Americans. And also the prejudice that was happening also around this time, where when the powwows were starting to come up, and they were like, no, we only want Indians in the powwows, no black people, no nothing, get out, or whites, get out. But she recognized this in herself as well, and she's like, you know, I had prejudice in me too at the time, but thankfully she actually says, thank God that, you know, God showed me my way out of that. So she unlearned that prejudice, which was really nice. I like how she stated that was really nice. I'm like, wow, that's really, it takes a lot to look in yourself and actually, hey, I was prejudiced myself. So I think that shows maturity, and it's how intelligent she is, and I love that about her. And I think a lot of us, we can do that. You know, we have a prejudice, internal prejudice in us at some point of something. You know, I mean, if you grow up around it, you're gonna have some sort of it, and it takes a lot for you to look inside yourself and see that, and then change it. That's really nice to hear. And how she became the chief of the Waccamaw, she actually helped out in getting the powwow started back up again. And she talks about the shame that was brought around dancing in the powwows, where, like, you know, there's some people that they were like, no, it's hush hush. Like my father, when he was dancing in the powwows, he was out loud proud about it. People were like ashamed about it, like they didn't want to do it, like native pride, like it is now, where people are dancing in the powwows, like they are proud about it, like they wear jewelry out in public now. They are proud about their regalia, they speak about it on the internet. You know, like native pride wasn't what it was when she was growing up, or when she was bringing it back to the powwows and stuff like that. So that's also talked about a lot in here, which I think is quite interesting. And of course, she talked a lot about her church and stuff like that, which is nice. So there's that book that I read. And then one that I saw, one of the people that I know from Facebook, and then who I knew my father and all that stuff, was Becoming Kin, an Indigenous call to unforgetting the past and reimagining our future. This was very, very insightful. I marked up quite a bit of this book. I am going to do a reread because I think I would benefit from rereading it. So, I mean, it just acknowledges that, you know, hey, we are all related in some way. We need to, you know, put away our differences and agree on things, you know, get things done. But I'll dive deep a little bit more because I want to do a reread. Oh, so, but anyway, this is a good one. This helped me a lot. And there's just things that I was just like, things were just forming when I was reading this. Like, but I'll write about this book. I can't get into it. I have to do a whole separate video on it, but it was the very first two. So, and then the third book that I actually ended up reading was Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. So, I read this book. I didn't mark this up since I got this at Thrift Books, but basically everything that's what this depicts, I see why it was big when it came out. I still see why it's big. It's very, very relevant. From what I took of it, is that, you know, all like the typical things that you see in Native American like movies, the native scalping people, like, you know, West Studi, like in Dances with Wolves, he's scalping another dude, you know, and like parading it around. Well, you really learn that natives really learned that from the white settlers that came in, because they were doing that shit to them. So they learned it. They learned their tactics and then turned their tactics around on them, right? We weren't always the violent ones. We were always the first ones to go to the white settlers and go to, like, to Congress, go to the government, go to their meet with the head settler people. Go, hey, listen, I don't want to fight you. You don't want to fight me. Let's just come to agreement. Let's get along. Let's come to a mutual agreement where we can both coexist. And they always turn back on, like the white settlers always turn on their word. And like this whole thing just demonstrates that the government makes promises, but they never keep not a single one of them, unless it's taking away from somebody else. Like the oh, I didn't tear the book. It's an old book, don't judge me. Okay, it literally starts off, hang on, I'm trying to find it. Oh god. Where is that? Hang on. Hang on, I'm getting to it. Let's, okay, no. That's another quote. I know it's right here. Where'd it go? I know I should have like marked it, but it does start off with, you know, saying that, you know, they made their promises, but they, the only promise that they kept was that they'll take our lands, and they did. And I don't know where that thing, of course, whenever I need to know where it's at, it's not there. Okay, it starts off with that big old long thing, and then anyway, but that quote is in here. Like, they literally promised to take our lands, and they did. So basically, it's basically telling you how the government like screws over people, and they never keep their promises unless they want to take away from you, and they keep those ones. But very hard to read. That's what I took out of it. Definitely another reread I'm gonna do. And so I started this one, The Heartbeat of Wounded Knee. I'm still not finished with it, but I'm still learning a whole lot from it. A whole lot of stuff. It's just histories of Native American history that was never taught. It's those two in the school systems. Because school system's very whitewashed, and two, the teachers don't have time to teach it because the state makes up what they want. Like the state and like whatever makes up what they want what they want them to teach, and in a time period that's so short that like they're not able to fully flesh out anything but what We all know about it. So now there are these books that I'm reading each day. You guys have seen them. It's 365 Days Walking the Red Road. Now I try to look up this this author, and I it's not confirmed if this is a white lady or is it an Indian lady. I don't know. I'm not sure because there's very little I can find her. But from what I saw a Facebook page that I think it may be hers, but you know, you never know. It seems like she does do Native American activism. Like she's very she's trying to put out the word of Native American history and stuff like that, trying to educate everybody. But whether or not this person is indigenous or non-indigenous, I think this book has value. I think it has really good life lessons. I think that there's quotes in here I've used you can't wake a person pretending to be asleep. I've used that a bunch of times, basically, where, you know, it's saying, you know, you can't teach somebody something when they are unwilling to open their minds to relearn something. No, they're unwilling to listen to your side. They're just they're asleep. You can't wake them up from their sleep, you know. I've used that a lot, and I think there is some history in here that we should all learn, you know, on this day, XYZ happened, you know, about Wounded Knee. So I think that there is I think there's value to this. That's why I'm continuing to read this. So I think this has value. And I think if this person is non-indigenous, I believe that their intention was, if your intention, it was to really just educate and, you know, to put, you know, just educate, you know. I think their intentions was pure, and it's doing nothing to hurt any of us, us Indians or non-Indians or whatnot. Now I'm switching my indigenous, Native American / Indian. Now, if I'm doing that, that's just because the things that I'm reading, all three of those terms are said. So that's why I'm flipping back to all three of those, depending on what sentence I'm using. It's just because that's what I'm reading, and that's just, I don't know. It's brought explaining to my language. Now, not every tribe likes to be called Indian, but there are some communities that don't mind being called Indian. So if you're one of those, I'm sorry that you don't like it, but at least for my community here, we're okay being called Indian. We use that Indian all the time, and that's okay. It's up to whoever's preference if they want to be called Native American / Indian or indigenous. It's all the same thing. It's not meant to harm anybody or to be, you know, prejudiced or negative or racist or anything like that. It's just different communities are different, and that's okay. It's even said in the books I'm reading right now that I've read, that, you know, it's up to the person if they want to be called that. It's okay, fine. So that's why I'm flipping towards it, because because this uses Indian, indigenous, Native American as well. Even the Heartbeat at Wounded Knee, that it's used that way too. And a lot of Bear My Heart at Wounded Knee, Indian is pretty much used a lot of the time. And even in print from Princess of Chief, she called themselves Indians as well. So that's why I'm switching towards that all the time. So there's this I'm reading, and then I'm also reading Meditations with Native American Elders, the 4 Seasons. This one is this guy. He actually is an indigenous man. So he's got his sayings, and then his breakdown of the saying, and then the prayer, which I think it's got really good insight. It's helped. I feel like it's helped me a little. It has helped me a little bit. I feel like I go back to these. I refer. Especially when I'm getting negativities, I'll actually will refer back to this book, 365 Days Walking the Red Road, and also this one, Walking the Red Road, the Empowering Practices for Your Spiritual Journey. I'll use this too. This has got good intentions in here. What is that? So basically, this one, I use this a lot. I kind of ran into this today in a phone call today, actually, where I could have I feel like I was going to be bit into kind of an argument or a dispute. Just by the way this person was talking to me, but I use, lead by example. You don't need to match people's energy or argue the point. So what I'm trying to do is, if I'm, especially with my journey right now, if I'm ever questioned or anything like that, I'm trying to speak about my side in a very graceful way, in an educational way, and not respond in a way where I want to cuss someone out, and start an argument, right? That's what I'm trying to redo my brain, because that's what I really want to do, is custom the fuck out. But I'm like, no, that's not how I want to do this, because this point right here, why lower your vibration or dishonor yourself by subjecting yourself to that energy? Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to waste my energy in say, like, cussing this person out or whatever, or get into the argument, because that's just going to drain my energy, and it's dishonoring my own self, right? So with my responses, I will refer back to these three, like literally these 3 books, because I think like these books, they have good examples of how you, like, if you should be responding. Like, they're really useful. You can respond to them in a graceful, educational way that's not gonna disrupt your energy. So I'm not gonna do that. Like, oh, life is too short, okay? Too short to be doing all this mess. You know, some people don't want to be educated. At least, you know, if you respond in an educational way, at least, you know, you responded in a graceful way where you can see on some of my comments and some of my shorts, or if I responded and then someone, they completely respond like with like stupid emojis, or with some nonsense like call me a redskin half white lady, where it's like, okay, you shut down the minute that I responded in an educational way, in a very graceful, mature way, and you just shut down because you're not getting what you want, which is an argument. And to get me upset and riled up, you're not getting what you want. You're not getting the response that you want out of me. So you are just trying to go to the extreme to get me riled up. And so that's where I'm like, you're not worth my time or my energy. I'm dropping and letting it go. You know. So, and I started this month called the Walking in a Native Way, White Moccasins on the Red Road. So this is a guy who he's a white man who he becomes a teacher of an indigenous man who is part of the Ojibwe tribe, and so he's basically writing about his journey about that. So I'm like 6 or 7 pages in, not really much to go off right now, so I'm in the middle of reading that too. And I got a new book that I'll be reading alongside 365 Days Walking the Red Road and Meditations Native American Elders, and that is a Spirit Wheel Meditations from an Indigenous Elder. So I'm reading that alongside other meditation books because Angie Jess, he is a creator on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff. He is an indigenous creator and he recommended it, so thankfully I'm on the right, because I think with, you know, trying to figure out what books I want to read on like a daily basis, I think that's hard to do, try to find. And I think, you know, he reads the other 2 books, he doesn't read this one, but I think this one provides value, so I'm still going to keep it in my bundle. And yeah, I think that's all my books I've been reading so far. Like, that's a part of my Native American Indigenous Indian journey. So I think that they have provided some help. It's opened my mind a little bit, like so much, actually a lot more than I expected. I think it's just like, wow, this is not taught. And then with me now, trying to spread that around, I either get some positivity or I'm getting negativity. So it's like, well, can't you know, I'm just trying to better myself as a human. So I think that is a plus. That's what it's doing. I'm bettering myself as a human, and I think that's all we can ask for, is to better ourselves as humans, right? Because, you know, there is a whole lot going on, and I think that we could all use some bettering ourselves, you know. So you know, if haven't really said a lot about, I think I said a little bit about like my past a little bit, you know, with having an American father and white mom, and you know how like they've had addictions and how that happened. But if you guys actually want me to sit down and break that down in the whole video, let me know, because I'm not going to do it unless it's not wanted, you know, because I don't want to do it and then like nobody like it, no one want to actually hear it. Why is there a bee? Oh shit, there's a bee, like trying to get in my salad. Okay, it's oh no, it's not. Okay, it's gone. No, it's not. It's gone. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that tangent, but you know, I left the bee alone, he left me alone. So we're good. So, because I don't want like the bee to sting me by mistake, thinking I'm trying to attack it, and then he can die. Because if bees sting you, then they die. And that's sad. But anyway, enough about the bee. If you guys want to hear anything about like my history, my past, XYZ, and how this all led up to me trying to educate myself about my heritage, my culture, what happened in history, me getting closer to the Great Spirit, let me know, and I'll share that video in a video. I'll share it. So thank you guys for hanging out and staying this long. I will see you guys on my YouTube shorts or another video, whatever it may be. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.